Colorado.
Colorado High School Activities Association baseball is on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. This afternoon from Legion Field in Fort Morgan, it is a Longs Peak League matchup between the visiting Severance Silver Knights and the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Good afternoon, everyone. Brian Nickel here. Very important games for both teams, actually. Severance leads the league 11-4. They're 2 games ahead of Riverdale Ridge at 9-5, Northridge at 9-5, Fort Morgan at 9-5, and then Mountain View at 9-6. So Fort Morgan, if they want to host, from what I understand, you have to win league. Well, they'll have to win the next 2 games here with Severance today and then Thursday at Severance, and then they will host Frederick on Saturday at 11, and then they will go to Frederick on Monday at 4 p.m., and all those games will be right here on Morgan County's B106 as well as the Eastern Plains Sports Network. But this afternoon it will be Wheatley, it will be Frank Ortega on the hill for the Mustangs this afternoon. He is 6-0 in 9 appearances with a 3.44 ERA. So their top pitcher here for the Mustangs will go against Severance as they come in. As I said, they are 11-4 and number 11 in the RPI. Riverdale Ridge is 5th in the RPI. Fort Morgan sits at number 14 in the RPI. But from what I understand, they need to win league. And we will see how that goes with the starting lineup here for Severance leading off. Will be Cameron Christensen. He is a center fielder. And the first pitch is up and away for ball 1. The opening pitch is brought to you by High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank serving Wiggins and all surrounding areas. Find out more at highplainsbank.com. Pitch number 2 is going to be fouled off to the right and out of play. Evens the count here at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Frankie, we will see inside on the catches the corner. 4 strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter Cameron Christensen. And the pitch, and that's going to be popped up. We'll see if that's playable for Briggs Wheatley at first. It is not. It is out of play, foul down the right field line. Today for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, it's Frank Ortega on the hill, Tyler Baker today behind the plate. Antonio Velasquez not available. I understand he has turned an ankle, so he is not available behind the plate today. And that ball is going to be hit down the third base line, but foul. So Briggs Wheatley at first, Charlie Langford at second, Jesse Campa at third, Braden Fajardo at short, David Keller in left, Levi McCoy in center, and Colin Farley in right field. So the count still sits at 1 ball and 2 strikes. That ball is going to be tapped out. It looks like it may be in for a hit and no play, as that ball was a slow roller up the third baseline, and no shot for Jesse Campa to try and throw him out. So now that will bring up Joe Tamburo. With a runner at first in Cameron Christensen. Throwback over to first, and in safely diving is Cameron Christensen. And that ball is going to be hit out to the second baseman, Charlie Langford. He's going to go to first for the out. So fielder's choice. For the for the second man in the lineup. And now a man in scoring position for Severance. And that pitch is in there for a strike. This home plate umpire is slow with the call, but we will stick with him here. So no balls and one strike to Carson Fagan, one of their star pitchers. And that ball is going to be hit down the right field line, but looks like it's going to curve foul. And it does stay foul as Colin Farley retrieves it to throw it back in. So play here in the bottom or the top of inning number 1. Severance Silver Knights, number 1 in the Longs Peak League. Overall, they're 14-6. They've already played 20 games. The Mustangs have played 19. They're at 13-6. As Frankie looks in, and the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off to the right and out of play. So the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. As Carson Fagan steps out and now back in to the batter's box. And the pitch, and that's going to be hit fair down the third baseline and over to first. Is going to be out, as Fagan is going to be out. But the runner does advance to third. So now it will bring up Nolan Hertzke. He will be he was third base today, excuse me. And that pitch catches the inside part of the plate. Nice pitch there by Frankie. So Hertzke on the year is batting at .494. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit over to the shortstop, but the throw is going to be off. They're going to give him a infield hit because it was off the glove of Campa as he was diving, and then right to Braden Fajardo, but could not get the throw over to first in time. But it will score the first run for the Severance Knights. They're up 1-0 with their man at first. Mason Bright, he's the pitcher here this afternoon, and that pitch is in there for a strike. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Hertzke batting at .494. Runner at first, and that's going to be chopped foul down the left field line. No balls and 2 strikes. That's what the count was on Hertzke, and he got that infield hit, but it was a nice diving attempt by Jesse Campa. But it's just off the end of his glove over to the shortstop, and that pitch is going to be up over the strike zone, but up for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Fajardo's throw was a little offline, but Hertzke was not going to be thrown out. Beautiful day here in Fort Morgan. And the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss for out number 3 here in the in the top of the first inning. So we will go to the bottom of inning number 1 with no score here on Morgan County's B106 in the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Inning number 1, excuse me. And it will be Briggs Wheatley to lead off. He'll be followed by Braden Fajardo, Frank Ortega, Jesse Campa in the cleanup position, Charlie Langford batting number 5, Joseph Layden batting number 6 in the lineup, David Keller, the left fielder, is batting number 7, Colin Farley batting number 8 is in the right field position, and Levi McCoy batting 9th playing center field. For Severance, their pitcher is Mason Bright, a 2.93 ERA with a 1-0 record in 8 appearances. So the Mustangs down here early, 1-0. That top of that inning, Frankie Ortega with 17 total pitches allowed 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left. So Briggs from the left side, and that ball is going to be popped up. We'll see if it's playable. It looks like it's going to come back out of play. So Briggs behind early in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Briggs batting at .456. And that pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-handed hitter and first baseman Briggs Wheatley. And that's going to be hit solid right up the middle for a base hit. Nice stroke there by Briggs. As that went right over the top of the pitcher and right out into center field. So now it will be Braden Fajardo at the plate, batting at .500. See what he has here for RBIs. He has 16 RBIs in the pitch. And that pitch catches the outside part of the plate at the knees. Nice pitch there by Mason Bright. Bright looks in to Augustine Dominguez, who is behind the plate for Severance. Briggs takes off. Pitch must have been a ball, but Briggs in safely at second base. So a nice steal there by Briggs. He's now in scoring position. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be chopped over the head of the third baseman. And they're going to send him. Josh is going to send him, and it looks like Briggs will score. The Mustangs will even it up here as Braden Fajardo gets that single on that chop over the third baseman. So the Mustangs tie it up here at 1. Braden Fajardo with the RBI. And now Frankie Ortega up at the plate with a man on. Braden Fajardo over at first. Frankie is batting at .352, and that ball is going to be popped up on the infield. Looks like the second baseman is going to come over to the first baseman, and he comes down with the out. So 1 pitch, and Frankie is out on the pop-up. Braden will stay at first base. So that's the first out of the inning here. It'll bring up Jesse Campa. Campa batting at .323. And that ball is going to be hit sharply out to the shortstop. Over to 2 for 1. Over to 2. Oh, cannot come up with it cleanly there. So Campa is on at first. He is hit to the shortstop. And that ball is hit sharply over in front of the Severance dugout. Hit right off of the fence. And that came from Charlie Langford. So Jesse Campa at first now. And Charlie Langford at the plate. He is batting at .317. 1-1 here in the bottom of the first. And that pitch is going to be upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. But it's all tied up here at 1. Severance and Fort Morgan, and that pitch is going to be inside. Charlie backs away from it. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the 5th place batter, Charlie Langford, playing second base today. And the pitch. And that's going to be low and away for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Don't believe they brought anybody in to run for Campa. He's still over at first. And the pitch, and that's in the dirt for ball 4. So now 2 runners on. Runner second is Jesse Campa. And Charlie Langford now at first. That will bring up Joseph Layden. He is DHing here this afternoon. Layden on the year is batting at .371, and that pitch is inside for ball 1. And the pitch. And that catches the plate. Got to wait on that umpire. I guess I got to try and listen a little bit better, see if I can hear him say strike, but he's not in any hurry to put up the strike zone or strike sign. And that is also in there for a strike, so Layden behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 on. Jesse Campa at second, Charlie Langford at first on the walk. And the pitch, and that's right back up the middle and through, and they'll send Campa. So Campa will get in there. So nice job there by Joseph Layden with the single right back up the middle. It was right under the second baseman's glove. He dove for it, but just could not come up with it. So the Mustangs take the lead here now, 2-1. It is now David Keller. And that pitch is up and away for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Keller. Keller on the year batting at .327. And that pitch is in there for a strike. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. So this afternoon, Layden is DHing for Baker. And that catches the inside part of the plate also. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 2 on, the Mustangs up 2-1, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. So we will go to the top of inning number 2. In that frame of the inning, the Mustangs with 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 left on. We will go to the top of inning number 2 here on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So the top of inning number 2 we go with the Mustangs leading at 2-1 on some timely hits by the Mustangs. It will now be Tyler Hansen. He will be followed by Bryson Ferris and then Austin Neely. With Frank Ortega on the mound at 17 total pitches after the first inning, so not a bad number there for Mr. Ortega, and that is a big swing and a miss by Tyler Hansen. Hansen on the year is batting at .354 with 13 RBIs. That pitch misses up for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be popped. See if it's going to be playable down the left field line for Campa. And it will be out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Tyler Hansen, the 6th batter in the lineup for Severance this afternoon. As Frankie looks into Baker. And the pitch, and that is called strike 3. For out number 1 here in inning number 2. A nice fastball on the outside part of the plate there by Frankie. So now Bryson Ferris, the left fielder, at the plate, and that's hit sharply to Fajardo at short. Comes up with it, throw over, not a good throw at all. So that's going to be an error on Fajardo. Braden should have had that out there at first, but did not. We'll give him an error, and that pitch is low and away for ball one. Austin Neely at the plate, batting 196. So we'll see if the Mustangs can turn a double play here. And that's right back up the middle. Steps on the plate. One over. Nice double play there. Started by the second baseman, Charlie Langford. So that will get us to the bottom of inning number 2. No damage done here as the Mustangs turn the double play to end the top of inning number 2. We will go to the bottom of inning number 2 here on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So to the bottom of inning number 2, still 2-1 Fort Morgan. Hit sharply down to the third baseman, and over and out at first is going to be Colin Farley. Nice pickup over there by Nolan Hertzke for out number 1, but it was a nice hard hit by Colin Farley. Nice contact there, but is out at first. Now we'll bring up Levi McCoy. McCoy is batting at 069. Yes, he awaits the pitch, and that ball is going to be popped up. See if it's going to be in play. It's going to be out of play. I did not see what that first pitch was. They haven't put it up on the board yet. But Levi McCoy is a swing and a miss on that one. So it is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Levi McCoy. Yes, he awaits the pitch. Oh, and that hit him right in the helmet. When he'll be checked out, I'm sure they're going to, as McCoy goes down to first base, and Coach Tanner Campbell gives the thumbs up down there at first. So now Briggs Wheatley up at the plate. He singled his first time up, right back up the middle. And that pitch goes through the catcher, and Levi is going to go to second. That is going to be a pass ball. As Levi McCoy to second, right through the wickets there of the catcher, Austin Dominguez. So Briggs with an RBI sitting out there at second. And the pitch. Now it's going to be right down the first baseline, but foul. So a loud strike there by Briggs Wheatley. On deck is Braden Fajardo. So we'll see what the Mustangs can do here with a man in scoring position. That ball is going to be outside for ball 2. Now that is hit right to the second baseman. Out at first will be Briggs. On his ground out to the second baseman. So now at third base is going to be Levi McCoy. Fajardo, that was up and in. Fajardo ducks out of the way. 4 ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes to Fajardo. He had a single his first time up. Most of these singles have been hit right back up the middle. And the pitch, and that ball is hit hard and deep out to center field, and caught right off the grass top is going to be the center fielder. Will come out with out number 3. So the Mustangs come up empty here, so we'll go to the top of inning number 3 with the Mustangs leading at 2-1 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. To the top of inning number 3 we go. Frankie's still getting some warm-up pitches in. He was on deck, so not quite ready. Now they're got to throw down to second. So leading off for the Severance Silver Knights will be Augustine Dominguez. He's number 9 batter, then followed by Cameron Christensen and Joe Tamburo. So 9, 1, and 2 here to lead off the top of the third. Mustangs leading at 2-1. It's Frankie with the pitch, and that bunt attempt is a good bunt right out in front. Tyler Baker down with it. Nice job by Baker, and they get the out at first. Nice throw there by Tyler Baker to get that ball down to first base. So 2-3 on the putout. This is what Frankie is needing here. He is only at 25 total pitches so far, unofficially. That's what I have anyway. And that will bring up Cameron Christensen. He singled his first time up. That's a little too far inside. That will be ball 1. So Frankie gets his sign from Baker and the pitch, and that's going to be hit hard right down to third to Campa. Throw over. Nice job there by Jesse Campa. Nice throw over to Briggs Wheatley for out number 2. So that will go 5-3 on the putout. That will bring up Joe Tamburo. On deck is Carson Fagan. Tamburo grounded out his first time up, and that is in there, bottom part of the strike zone for strike 1. Nice curveball there by Ortega. And the pitch, and that breaking ball. Beautiful looking pitch there as that catches all of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Joe Tamburo. 2-1 Fort Morgan as we have 2 outs here now in the top of the third. That ball is in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fort Morgan will have 3 games left to finish out the year after today. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be popped up and out of play. As Tyler Baker comes back to take a look, but not anywhere close, and out of play for the catcher here this afternoon. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And that breaking ball stayed up a little bit too much for the umpires. That is now 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs, with the Mustangs leading at 2-1. And the pitch, strike 3 called. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of inning number 3 with the Mustangs leading at 2-1 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So nice job there by Frank Ortega in the top of inning number 3. Had a total of 9 pitches. So Frankie will lead off the bottom of the third inning. He flied out his first time up. He'll be followed by Jesse Campa and then Charlie Langford. Mason Bright still on the hill for Severance. And the pitch, and that is up and in for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. To Frank Ortega pitching here this afternoon for the Mustangs. And the pitch, and that is low and away. So Frankie ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Mason Bright with 35 total pitches, 20 strikes, 15 balls. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit sharply between third and short. So Frankie Ortega with a nice single in the gap. So Jesse Campa now at the plate. He singled his first time up. Be a nice time for another single or double, or Campa with one of the home runs for the Mustangs this year. Frank Ortega has the other one. As Ortega with his lead over at first. That ball is in the dirt, but does not get by the catcher, Dominguez. But Frankie will stay put at first. With the Mustangs leading at 2-1 here at the bottom of the third. A quick moving game here, only 33 minutes so far. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be chopped fair. They're going to say fair down the third base line, and over to first and out is going to be Jesse Campa. But that does advance Ortega to second. So one out with a man in scoring position. Charlie Langford was going to bunt, pulled it back, but was called a strike anyway. So no balls and one strike to Charlie Langford. He walked his first time up. See if the Mustangs can get this runner in from second. That ball is going to be inside. About the right height, but it was just inside. So the Mustangs will need every chance they get here against Severance. In the pitch, and that ball is going to be fouled out of play down the right field line. Equitable Savings and Loan, mobile banking on the go, makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today. As Bright looks into Dominguez, now he's going to check Ortega out at second. And the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss for Charlie Langford. So that will be 2 outs here now. Runner still out there at second is Ortega. Yes, he got on with a nice sharp single to left field and then was advanced to second by Jesse Campa. So Joseph Layden with a single his first time up, and the steal by, by Frank Ortega, as they did not keep an eye on him at all. So only 90 feet away now. So a nice little single here will bring in Ortega. And that pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the number 6 hitter, Joseph Layden, DHing here this afternoon for Tyler Baker. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out into short right field. We'll see if they can come up with it. And they run into each other, but somebody does come down with it. I believe it is the right fielder, but they collided out there, him and the first baseman. Not sure who is still down. That may be the second baseman, Austin Neely, out there on the ground. But that was out number 3 on the pop-up. So we will take a break here as we go to the top. As we go now to a break here on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So going to the top of inning number 4, that was on that collision out there at short right field was Austin Neely, the second baseman. He walked off under his own power. I know the trainer for the Mustangs is over in the dugout with them now. I don't know if they're checking him for a concussion or what is going on as far as a protocol going on over there. But up to bat will be Carson Fagan. He'll be followed by Nolan Hersky and then Mason Bright. And the first pitch of the top of the 4th inning is up and away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Carson Fagan. He grounded out his first time up. As Frankie looks into Baker, gets his sign and the pitch, and that is going to be up for ball number 2. So we'll see if Neely comes back out on. He's not due up for about 6 batters. And that ball is hit out to center field. Levi McCoy getting under it, and he comes down with the out there in kind of left center field. So 1 up and 1 down. Frankie Ortega with 3 strikeouts so far this afternoon. That will bring up Nolan Hersky. He singled his first time up. And that pitch misses low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Frankie at 37 pitches here in the 4th inning, and the pitch. And that's going to be up and away for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the number 4 hitter, Nolan Hertzke. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out to Langford at short at second. Comes up with it. Oh, and going to be safe. He's going to be pulled off the bag. Took a bad hop out there on Langford. Could not quite come up with it. I'm going to go ahead and give Hertzke a hit. That was just a sharp hit right to Charlie Langford. Bounced off his chest. Picked it up. It threw it a little wide, but I don't think he would have got Hertzke had it been on line. So Frankie with the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit deep out to left field. And we'll see if they come down with it. And it will be David Keller as he tracks it down out there just short of the warning track. So nice job out there by David Keller. That will now bring up Tyler Hansen. Struck out his first time up. He is 0 for 1. Throw back over to first. Diving in safely is Hertzke. But a nice, efficient, excellent pitch game here so far by Frank Ortega. And that ball is going to be hit out into left field. That's going to get down. Keller cuts it off. They're going to come to 3 with it. But the runner will only advance to second. So a sharp single out to left field. So now runners at first and second with 2 outs, and that will bring up Bryson Ferris. Bryson Ferris, that breaking ball in there, catches the inside part of the plate. Nice job there by Frank Ortega. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's going to be hit out to the shortstop, Fajardo. He steps on second base for the out. So no harm done here as we will go to the bottom of inning number 4 with the Mustangs leading at 2-1 here on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So to the bottom of inning number 4 in a quick moving game here. The Mustangs lead at 2-1. And up to bat will be David Keller, followed by Colin Farley and Levi McCoy. And that fastball is in there for a strike. And they did remove Austin Healy from the game. It is now Caden Panis out there at second. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be fouled out of play to the right. So quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on David Keller. He struck out his first time up, and that is going to be hit out to the third baseman. Comes up with it over to first for the out. Hertzke to Hansen for out number 1 here in the bottom of inning number 4. So 5-3 on the putout. Colin Farley now at the plate. He grounded out his first time up. Grounded out to the third baseman. As he awaits the pitch, and that fastball catches the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike to the senior right fielder, Colin Farley. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit. That should drop for a hit. Nice job there by Colin Farley. Nice single out to center field, drops in front of the center fielder. That will now bring up Levi McCoy with 1 out and 1 on. We'll see if Levi is going to try and bunt him over with Briggs coming up. Levi was hit by a pitch. He was hitting the helmet his first time up. That fastball in there for a strike. Levi just batting .069. So I thought maybe they might try to bunt him over, but no sign of it. That's going to be hit out to right field, out to right center field. And that will go to the right fielder, and he messes it up, but it was going to be a straight-up double anyway. So nice job there by Levi McCoy. On the double out to right field. So now two in scoring position for Briggs Wheatley. Runner second and third. Colin Farley at third. Levi McCoy now at second. Levi McCoy with a double, and Colin Farley reached with a single. Then he was advanced by Levi McCoy as they retrieve a ball or a bat that had on the ground here in front of the Mustang dugout. So Briggs steps out of the batter's box, now back in. So Briggs got a couple out there for him, and that ball is going to be hit high and deep down the right field line. And let's see if they're going to tag. It is an out. And Colin Farley in. So a nice job there by Briggs Wheatley. That would be a sacrifice fly down the right field line to the right fielder. So now the Mustangs lead it now 3-1 with should be 2 outs here, I believe, in the bottom of the fourth. And a runner on, Levi McCoy at third. Levi got on with a double. That first pitch was a ball. Braden Fajardo is singled and flied out so far. And the pitch. And that pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Braden Fajardo. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 3-1 Fort Morgan. That ball is going to be fouled out of play. Fajardo now behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's got one sitting there at third that would look huge for the Mustangs if they could bring Levi in. Let's see what Fajardo has as far as 16 RBIs for Fajardo. He's behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that ball is going to be hit out to the shortstop, throw over, and out at first will be Braden Fajardo. But in that inning, the Mustangs get 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left on. So we'll go to the top of inning number 5. And the Mustangs lead it now 3-1 here on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan, this is Brian Nickel as the Mustangs lead at 3-1. We will now go to the top of inning number 5. 50 minutes so far. Quick moving game. Austin Neely still in the game as a batter, but had been taken out of playing second base, but still is batting. So he will step in from the right side. I don't know if they're looking for a ball or what they're having an extra ball. I don't know if that's why the umpire went over and was talking to the Fort Morgan coaches or what the conversation was about, but we will go here to the top of inning number 5. It will be Austin Neely, followed by Augustine Dominguez, then back to the top of the lineup with Cameron Christensen. And that ball is going to be popped up. And Tyler Baker tries to run it down, but it will be out of play. Just runs out of room, and the ball falls harmlessly in foul territory behind the seating area on the right field line. So Frankie gets in the pitch, and that ball is going to be fouled out of play also. No balls, 2 strikes. Frank Ortega sitting at 46 total pitches, 35 strikes, 11 balls. So a great job here so far by Frank Ortega. And that ball is going to be hit out and deep to right field. Colin Farley chases it down and comes down with the out. Nice running catch out there by Colin Farley. It looks like it was just going to be a foul ball, but it falls in the glove of Colin Farley for out number 1 here in inning number 5 as the Mustangs lead it 3-1. Augustine Dominguez, swing and a miss. On Augustine Dominguez. And the pitch, and that ball is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike on this beautiful afternoon here in Fort Morgan. And that ball is going to be hit out to Fajardo at short. Comes down with it, throws over as low throw, but out at first is Dominguez. So 2 up, 2 down for the Mustang defense. That will bring up Cameron Christensen back to the top of the lineup. He is 1 for 2. He singled his first time up and then grounded out to the third baseman. Frankie with a pitch, and that breaking ball must have been a little outside. It's like a pretty good pitch, but it missed for ball 1. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out to Campa at third. Comes down with it. Throw over. Nice job there on the putout, as that was a ground out from Jesse Campa to Briggs Wheatley. So in the top of that inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of inning number 5 with the Mustangs leading it 3-1 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A quick moving game here at Legion Field as Frank Ortega will come up to the plate. He is 1 for 2. He flat out his first time up and then singled his last time up. The Mustangs leading it 3-1 in a much needed game here if they want to try to win the Longs Peak League Championship. And the pitch, and that ball is hit high and deep down the left field line, and we'll see if it stays in the field. And it comes down just at the warning track. A nice tryout there by Brayson Ferris, but the triple by Frank Ortega. Great way to start off this 5th inning. Now Jesse Campa with a man at third. So great way for the Mustangs to start it off. Frank Ortega close to home run number 2 for him, but came up just short as Bryson Ferris made a gallant effort but did not come up with it. That pitch is going to be up and away for ball 1. To Jesse Campa. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be fouled off to the right. Campa on the year so far has 22 RBIs, so it would be nice to get another one here. And the pitch, and that ball is right back up the middle. Nice hit there by Jesse Campa. About took the legs out from underneath Mason Bright at the pitching mound. Jesse Campa with the RBI. As that went right back up the middle. So I have 9 hits on the afternoon unofficially for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. They have 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 5 left. Severance at 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, and 3 left. Up at the plate now is Charlie Langford. He walked and struck out. And that pitch catches the bottom part of the strike zone. Yes, Mason Bright has a pretty good fastball. No balls and 1 strike. A bunt out to the pitcher. Nice sacrifice by Mr. Langford. As that goes 1-3. But Jesse Campa now in scoring position with 1 out, and that will bring up Joseph Layden. He singled and flied out Flied out his last time up. And the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss by Layden. Could not catch up to that fastball up in the zone. David Keller on deck, Colin Farley in the hole. As Joseph Layden awaits the pitch from Mason Bright. And the pitch, and that pitch misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jesse Campa out at second base. Yes, he drove in Frankie here a minute ago, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Frankie with the single, then Jesse got on, then Charlie Langford with the sacrifice bunt. And the pitch, and that is inside. Joseph Layden lays off. Well, he laid off of it because he had to lean back away from it so he wouldn't get hit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4-1 Fort Morgan against the number 1 team in the Longs Peak League, the Severance Silver Knights, and that is going to be a swing and a miss for Joseph Layden. That will be out number 2. That will bring up David Keller. He is 0 for 2 on a strikeout and a ground out. So Jesse Campa still out there at second base. See if David Keller can advance him. Keller lays off the high fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Mason Bright at 69 total pitches here in inning number 5. Bright with the pitch, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Mustangs, Severance, led off the game with a run in the top of the first, and the Mustangs answered with 2 in the bottom of the second, or bottom of the first, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let me try that again. Severance scored first, 1 in the top of the first, Fort Morgan with 2 in the bottom of the first. And then Fort Morgan so far 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and that is going to be called strike 3 to David Keller. So here in the bottom of inning number 5, the Mustangs get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left on no errors. The Mustangs lead at 4-1 as we go to the top of inning number 6 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So a nice job here so far this afternoon by Frankie Ortega and the rest of the Mustangs as we go to the top of inning number 6 with the Mustangs leading at 4-1. And it will be Joe Tamburo followed by Carson Fagan and Nolan Hertzke. And that pitch is going to be hit out to Fajardo. Nice hop out there. Fajardo over to first for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the way we like to see him, but what a beautiful hop to Fajardo, and then the throw over to Briggs Wheatley. So 6-3 on the putout. Now that will bring up Carson Fagan. He is 0 for 2, ground out and flied out his first couple of times. That ball in the dirt, gets by Tyler Baker, but nothing hurt, nobody on. This is the second batter here for the Mustangs, but a much needed. If the Mustangs can hold on to this victory here, they will bring themselves to within 1 game of first place, and that ball is going to be hit out over the head of Levi McCoy, and Fagan on his way to second on the double. So a double out to center field. Starts it off here for Severance in the top of inning number 6. That will bring up Nolan Hertzke. He has singled twice. First time through the by the shortstop, and then the second one was out into right field. Frankie with a pitch, and that is going to be upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. To the number 4 hitter, Nolan Hertzke. Frankie looks in, gets his sign from Tyler Baker, checks the runner out at second, and the pitch, and that breaking ball is in there for strike 1. Frankie's been throwing some excellent pitches here this afternoon. Nice placement keeping Severance off balance. And they're going to throw back. It's going to go out into center field on the throw. But no advancement is Levi McCoy with the backup. As we play here in the top of inning number 6, 4-1 Fort Morgan. 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. As Frankie with the pitch, and that is going to be upstairs. Sitting at 58 total pitches, so he still should be in pretty good shape as far as, unless his arm starts to get tired. 2 balls and 1 strike, and that breaking ball is in there. Beautiful pitch there by Frank Ortega. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of inning number 6. To Nolan Hertzke, number 4 in the batting order for Severance. Frank looks back, and now the fastball, and that's going to be hit out to center field. Levi McCoy ranging under it and comes down with it. So the sacrifice fly out to center. Advances the Carson Fagan to third, but 2 outs. And now that will bring up Mason Bright, the pitcher. He is 0 for 2 on a strikeout and a flyout. So let's see if the Mustangs can shut down Mason Bright here. And that curveball just stayed high for ball 1. Got a runner now at third base in Carson Fagan. And the pitch. And that pitch was up and in apparently a little bit. So 2 balls and no strikes. Frankie with 3 strikeouts on the afternoon has allowed 5 hits now. Frankie with a pitch, and that is apparently low. Frankie's not sure. He looks in, not sure just where that one missed, and we're not either. So, but 3 balls and no strikes. I would guess Fagan is going to be, or it's going to be Mason Bright, as Frankie misses on 4 straight pitches. So now runners at first and third. And that will bring up Tyler Hansen. He struck out and singled to left field. Singled his last time up. Nice crowd here this afternoon here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan. And they're going to have a courtesy runner over there for Bright. I believe that's going to be Ryan Iwoniak, excuse me. So at the plate is Tyler Hansen. Courtesy runner at first, Carson Fagan at third. 2 outs, and nice job there by Tyler Baker to keep that ball in front of him. That was in the dirt, but he slid nicely out to his right and kept that ball in front of him, so Fagan could not score from third. So 4-1 Fort Morgan, 2 outs here in the 6th. That pitch is called a strike. I didn't know if it was going to be or not. He is really slow on the sign signal for a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. They're going to throw over to first. At back. Oh, they called him out. The pickoff over at first base. So Iwoniak is called out. He is tagged out. So that will go 1-3 on the putout. So nothing hurt here by the Mustangs as they still lead it now 4-1. We will go to the bottom of inning number 6 with the Mustangs leading at 4-1 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So 4-1 Mustangs as we go to the bottom of inning number 6. Looks like now Austin Neely will be at the mound, and we'll see if Mason Bright has showed up someplace else. I've not been able to pick him out right now, but Austin Neely will now be the pitcher. But Colin Farley will lead off here. He is 1 for 2, a ground out, and then a nice single his last time up. See if we can get some numbers here on Austin Neely. As he comes in. Yeah, we'll get him in a minute. That first pitch is going to be a swing and a miss by Colin Farley. See if we can get this in here. Austin Neely is going to be, that pitch is going to be called a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to senior Colin Farley playing right field today. And the pitch, and that is going to be outside, low and away for ball 1. So Neely on the year is 0-1 with a 4.82 ERA in 9 appearances. And the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off to the right and out of play. So it will be Colin Farley, Levi McCoy, and then back to the top of the lineup with Briggs Wheatley. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit down to the third baseman, and that will get by the third baseman. As Farley on with a single. But a nice diving attempt over there by the third baseman, Nolan Hertzke. So now Levi McCoy up at the plate. He was hit by a pitch and hit a double out to right field, or right field, excuse me. Briggs Wheatley on deck, Levi McCoy at the plate. And the pitch. And that is low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. With Colin Farley at first base. 10 hits so far for the Mustangs. Levi McCoy and Farley is going to take off. And Farley is going to be in there easily with a stolen base. Not a good throw at all by Dominguez. That bounced a couple of times out there. So a stolen base for Colin Farley. So runner out at second. And that is going to say he went around, so that is going to be a strike. Let's see if that was. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Levi McCoy. And now Dominguez is going to go out and have a chat with Neely. I don't know if Mason Bright went someplace or not. If he is in, I've not been able to pick up his number yet. As Neely with the pitch, and squaring to bunt and pulling it back is Levi McCoy as that pitch was up. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Levi. Briggs Wheatley on deck. See if they can get 1 more run here anyway in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that pitch is low and away for the walks. Now runners at first and second for Briggs Wheatley. Wheatley on the afternoon is 1 for 2. Had a single his first time up and then grounded out, and then a sac fly his last time up. So the Mustangs with 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 6 left. As Neely checks the runner out at second. Now the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 1. So the Mustangs have an opportunity here in the bottom of inning number 6 with no outs and 2 on, and Briggs Wheatley at the plate. As he awaits the pitch, and that is inside, gets by the catcher, and that will advance both runners. Farley to third, McCoy to second. And that is going to be a wild pitch. That will advance both runners. So now 2 runners in scoring position. That ball is going to be chopped foul down the first baseline. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Briggs Wheatley. Nice chance here for Briggs to get a couple of more runs here. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit but foul down the right field line, way foul. So he stays alive here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wheatley with 15 RBIs that started off this game. See if we could get 16 and 17. That ball is going to be hit foul opposite field down the left field line. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big game here for the Mustangs. If they can hold on here this afternoon, they would be within 1 game of first place. And that ball is going to be popped up down the right field line. And coming down with it out there is Joe Tamburo. So Briggs flies out to right field. So we'll see now if Braden Fajardo, the leading batter for the Mustangs, he was batting at 500 to start this off, but he has 2 out there on the bases to bring in, and the pitch, and that is inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Fajardo with 16 RBIs. Be nice if we get 17 and 18 here for Braden. And the pitch, and that is going to be fouled at the plate. So 1 ball, 1 strike. As we play here in the bottom of inning number 6, it's been 1 hour and 17 minutes. A well-played contest here this afternoon. The only error so far has been on Fajardo, and that was early on a throw over to Briggs at first that pulled him off the bag. But other than that, it has been a well-played baseball game here at Legion Field. And the pitch, and that is low and in the dirt. Nice stop there by Dominguez. Or that would have brought home Colin Farley if it would have got to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike. Braden Fajardo at the plate. Leading hitter here for the Mustangs as Neely with a pitch. And that pitch is going to be low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. So if it's a pitch that Fajardo likes, he is going to be swinging at it and see if he can get some RBIs here. And the pitch, and that is low and in for ball 4. So now the bases are loaded for Frank Ortega. Frank Ortega with 1 of the home runs for the Mustangs so far this year. And now the coach for the Severance Silver Knights is going to take a stroll out to the mound as the whole infield comes in for the talk. Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. So the conference on the mound breaks up. The runners go back to their respective bases. Colin Farley at third, Levi McCoy at second. Braden Fajardo now on at first via the walk. And Frank Ortega at the plate. As Neely looks in, and the pitch, and that pitch is in there for a strike. Fastball catches the outside part of the plate. See if Frankie can come through here with 1 out. 4-1 Fort Morgan, bottom of the 6th, and the pitch. And that ball is hit out to left field. It should be deep enough. It is caught out there, and Colin Farley will score. So that will now make the score 5-1. Nice job there by Frankie on the sacrifice fly out to left. So now it will be Jesse Campa at the plate. Still runners at first and second. And that pitch is in there for strike one. Jesse on the afternoon is 2 for 3, a single, ground out, and another single. But the Mustangs with an added run here, and that is now 5-1. That ball is going to get by the third baseman, and that will bring Levi McCoy in on that single down the left field line. So now runners at first and second. So Charlie Langford at the plate. He is 0 for 1, a walk, a strikeout, and a sac bunt. Has no idea. The catcher did not know where the ball was. It was right at his feet. 6-1 now, Fort Morgan. This is what they were needing. Open this up here just a little bit against Severance. This is a game the Mustangs needed. One of the games anyway is. And the pitch. Is that going to be a balk? And that will send. Braden took off, and they had called a balk. So he will get the stolen base, and then Jesse Campo will go to second on the balk call. Stolen base, and then that ball is hit right out into center field, and that will bring home Fajardo, and that will bring home Campa. Nice job there by Charlie Langford. As Langford brings in 2. So Langford with a single up the middle. And it is now 8-1 Fort Morgan. And that pitch is in there for a strike to Joseph Layden. But a nice inning here for the Mustangs as they have played at 4. 8-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Joseph Layden at the plate, no balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. And the pitch, and that is in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Frankie can come out and do what he has been doing all afternoon. Mustangs should come away with a nice win here at home over the number 1 team in the Longs Peak League, and that hit right to the third baseman for the out. But the Mustangs do a nice job. They get 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We will go to the top of inning number 7 with the Mustangs leading at 8-1 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Top of inning number 7 here, and the Mustangs lead at 8-1. We'll see if they can get out of this with the win. First pitch by Frankie is low and away for ball 1. So Fort Morgan with 8 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, and 7 left. And that pitch is going to be hit down to the left field line, but it is going to be foul. Long strike there for Tyler Hansen. He is 1 for 2, struck out and then singled his last time up. He'll be followed by Bryson Ferris and then Austin Neely. For Frankie so far this afternoon, 68 pitches, 46 strikes, 22 balls. Nice ratio here by the senior, and that is a swing and a miss. As Tyler Hansen went well over the top of that breaking ball. Frankie looks in, gets his sign from Tyler Baker. And the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off to the right and out of play. Nice job here this afternoon by Tyler Baker as he is catching for the Mustangs this afternoon. Antonio Velasquez turned an ankle from what I understand, so he was not available this afternoon. And the pitch, and that is going to be in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the number 6 hitter, Tyler Hansen. First baseman for Severance. As Frankie looks in, and the pitch, and that ball is going to be fouled out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mustangs lead it 8-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. Looking for out number 1. As Frankie looks into Baker, likes what he sees, and the pitch, and that is going to be a single out to left field. And it will be picked up by Keller as he will get it back in. So hard hit single out to left field. That will bring up Bryson Ferris. He is 0 for 2, error and grounded out. He reached via the error in that first inning. So Frankie looks over at first, and the pitch, and that's going to be dribbled out in front of the plate and on to first. Nice job there by Tyler Baker to get the out. So 1 out. That will go 2-3. So runner out at second base. So no worried about that guy out at second. He needs to concentrate on Austin Neely at the plate. And the pitch, and that is up and in for ball 1. Austin Neely, he will be followed by Augustine Dominguez. Frankie looks out, and the pitch, and that is going to be upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. As Frankie steps off the rubber for just a minute, now back on, collects his thoughts. Has allowed 6 hits so far this afternoon, but 1 run. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Baker, but not far enough for Hansen to advance. 2 balls, 1 strike to the number 8 hitter, Austin Neely, who has come in and pitched this second half of the game. Should be 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch, and that's going to be out to Fajardo. They're going to go to third for the tag out. Nice job over there by Fajardo to get it to Campa for the out. So 2 out now here in the top of the inning. So 6-2 on the put out, but 2 outs, and that will bring up Dominguez. So the Mustangs 1 out away here after that first strike there to Dominguez. And the pitch, and that ball is going to be fouled off to the right. So the Mustangs 1 strike away from winning the first game of 2. The second one, of course, will be Thursday in Severance. But this will bring the Mustangs to within 1 game of first place here in the Longs Peak League, as it is 8-1 in the pitch. And that breaking ball is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mustangs scored 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and then 4 in the 6th. In the pitch, and that is going to be hit out to Jackson Langford. They're going to go to second for the force out. So the Mustangs win it here this afternoon by a count of 8-1. We'll take a 1-minute break and then be back with the post-game show here on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Well, the Mustangs win it here this afternoon by a score of 8-1. The Mustangs post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. MCC is here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out today at morgancc.edu. Well, what an excellent pitching performance by Frankie Ortega this afternoon, and also by the Fort Morgan defense, only having the 1 error, and that was on Fajardo in that first inning. So the Severance Silver Knights got 1 run in the top of inning number 1, and the Mustangs answered with 2 in the bottom of the first. And then it was lights out then for the Severance Silver Knights as Frankie shut them down. I believe he had 3 strikeouts and no walks. this afternoon did give up 7 hits. So the line score on Severance was 1 run, 7 hits, no errors, and 4 left on. And for the Mustangs, 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, and 7 left on. Frankie Ortega with 81 total pitches, 55 strikes, and 26 balls. He was the winning pitcher here this afternoon for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Game time, 1 hour and 31 minutes. And also a nice job as Tyler Baker steps in behind the plate for the injured normal catcher for the Mustangs. So the Mustangs will look forward now to Thursday afternoon. That will be a 4 o'clock first pitch at Severance. But that is the first game of 4 that the Mustangs would probably need to win if they want this, and maybe some help also along the way, maybe from Riverdale Ridge, as they are also at 9-5. But the Mustangs now at 10-5, Severance at 11-5. So the Mustangs 1 game back, as they will take to the field in Severance on Thursday afternoon. So for Christy Creighton, this is Brian Nickel. Once again, the final score here this afternoon from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs beat Severance by a count of 8-1 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.